What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. We do it live here. Gamer's Choice has just put up their pre-sales. I have not seen a single price. I have the old page here so that I can refresh into it, and a couple things real quick. First off, I got them to lower their sealed price code What's Good 5 for 5% off, and to support the channel directly makes it even cheaper now. They also have up Dark Magician Girl bundles as well as the Elemental Hero bundle. I wonder why the waifu tax is a little more on that bundle, but I want to remind you, the viewer, whenever it comes to Megatin pre-sales specifically, it is the most competitive market on a product all year. It is the most ripped open product that Konami prints, thus the singles on pre-sales often are a little overpriced. However, Gamer's Choice, every single pre-sale with their estimated value pulled chop up has put multiple things under the market that ended up happening. That's why I am super excited to go ahead and get into this, and let's see what they got. So let's see here. They do have deck cores to top it off. I want to see everything, so let's go ahead and see if we can click here, go max view, and then go price high to low. Ash Blossom selling best early on, and Prosperity at 30. Wow, okay, so Prosperity at 30 is pretty good because a lot of people are assuming that due to Crossout Designator and Dragoon's Pass that people will be trying to juice something in the tins. I told you all that I think the estimated value pulled out of the secret rares being average of 1 per case. We don't have pull ratios yet, but because most of them are near that 1 per case ratio and cases are much cheaper than a typical product, the estimated value chop up should be pretty decent, and Prosperity at 30 is under where I thought they would come in. I thought they could have tried to sell this at 35, 38. That's pretty good. Droplet for the Prismatic Secret Rare under half the price of the current Ultra Osso. Whenever we saw the debut of, I think it was Dimensional Barrier and Cosmic Cyclone, they were both $20, despite a structure deck reprint for both on the horizon. This is a pretty good mix and match. Now, Ash Blossom, I think, is too high. Even though it's a Prismatic Secret Rare, you have a competitor in the common from a structure deck coming to bottom out all the singles as well. The Prismatic Secret Rare will look very good, but a lot of Ashes are down in price under this, and being the most recent printing, even if it looks very nice, I think 20 is a bit high, but apparently it's one of their best sellers. Also, the Branded Despia bundle. I'll have to look at all the rarities, but I feel like that's a little bit high. Coming in at a price under what 3 branded openings used to be. I get maybe what they're going for, but Alubers, even though that's a rarity upgrade, they're down to $2 for the ultra rares. So I don't know. I'm not feeling that bundle personally either. But the Prosp and the Droplet so far pretty good. Lightning Storms at 15s also solid. I could see that settling at 12. Interesting to see the DM era monsters so cheap here early. Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and DMG all at 13 despite potentially being shorted, and the OCG mark may be coming in on these later on. I think Dark Magician Girl is the best buy out of these 3, followed by the Blue Eyes, and then the Red Eyes is the cheapest in the OCG. Dragoon also in this price point range. Man, the single for this has been so much despite not seeing the most play. It is a Rogue favorite. Rogue doesn't mean broke. Casual doesn't mean broke, right, in the market, so this is a bit interesting. Also, this bundle over time might be good, but we'll have to see it versus release. This is really pretty good value, honestly, for the new cards out of the Ultra slots. I do think this will actually age well. I wonder how the competition will do early, because I could see people trying to get $3 on the Slifer Traps early, and then twos. I think that's a pretty darn good bundle. Diviner of Herald seems a bit high, despite being a wanted reprint. I could see her being around $10 to $8 later, but 13's not bad for pre-sales. DPE, very wanted card. I see they're trying to maybe compare it to Zeus here in a sense, but Zeus it is not. It is not quite as generic with Verte gone. Crossout Designator for the Secret Rare at 10 when the Ultra Rares are selling like hotcakes at 10 right now. That's pretty darn good. And then you have a bunch of deck cores that they're trying to make some value off of. Ecclesia at 7 is pretty nice. I could see this being a $10 card. You have Ghost Spell towards 7. Ghost Spell is actually later in the market watch because her highest version is going up once again, the Starlight Rare. That's kind of interesting. I told you guys Small World at 5. Small World at 5. So somebody on Twitter was like, oh yeah, this is terrible for budget players. Small World, $15, down to $15. Everyone's so happy. Not. Here it is at $5. I called that one dead on the money on how that would end up. Ghost Ogre at 5 is kind of cute. Heavenly Prison, the Bureau, all these singles being priced around here. I see where they're trying to make up the value by being cheaper on stuff on Prosperity, get you to add it to the cart, and it's not that bad. A Hollow Dimension Shifter, even if it's reprinted in the Rainbow Structure Deck, holographic version, not terrible there at that price. And Dark Ruler No More for a Hollow at 3 when the commons have been going for 3. I think it'll even out, 2 to 3 eventually. And then they start everything under $1 here. I think that the God card support, the bundle's pretty good, but also the singles, if you only want a couple of them at 2s, are pretty nice also. With the introduction of those, they had more hype than I really thought they would have. So overall, Gamer's Choice, big thumbs up. Like I said, there's multiple things I wouldn't be buying at this point. Maybe I'm wrong on it. I am not a financial advisor. I don't know your bankroll. I don't know the future of card prices and how they'll actually tumble. This is the first realistic estimated value pull chop up of the set. And Prospect 30, when everyone thought it would be 50, good job showing them how it's done, Gamer's Choice. It's pretty much exactly how I would have done it. On this card, I probably might have bumped Droplet up to 28. I would have lowered Ash down towards 15. I think I would have... Lightning Storm's pretty dead on. I might have put it at 18, and they're doing pretty good on other things. Like the Dark Magician Girl, I might have actually put it towards 22, exactly the MSRP value of a 10, considering it might be short printed from what we saw early and nobody has the ratios. What do you in the audience think? By the way, whenever my code is used, it's not Gamer's Choice paying me, it is the audience. That's why I put your interest first. That's why I tell you to keep these things in mind and also give you the tools to think for yourself in the future. Whenever code What's Good 5 is used, I also see a portion of that sale. That means it's collected from you, and I'm not paid out by the sponsor. In that sense, I am paid by my audience, and that's how the sponsorship works. I'm not paid to put up their pre-sales or anything like that. For the people, oh, John always juices the pre-sales and pushes them so hard. It's you that pays me, not the sponsor. Let's go through some market changes, though, because of the Megatin reveals. Slifer huffing the King's Copium. It is up for that the secret rare from King's Court collector rare, not collector rare. What's it called? It's not Millennium Rare, right? It's something else. Pharaoh's Rare, that's what it is, right? It's right, I'm reading hard. Pharaoh's Rare, which turned out completely underhyped and pretty bad. It's actually getting bought out here around the new support, which is kind of a knee-jerk reaction, and there they go. Remember, the secret is a misprint. The Ultra is the one that is more 1 per every 3 cases, because you'll also see Obelisk, which looks terrible, pulled, and raw. But also, like, the secret 10 version and other different versions of Slifer are getting bought out here. So be aware of that. This has happened from the hype because of King's Court once before. So just good God card support is causing buyouts on the God cards. Yeah, again, casual doesn't mean broke. Crossout Designator, like I was saying, is around $10. So it's kind of funny. I had these up to compare to the prices the Gamer's Choice was going to do. Dead on, just matching it. Kind of neat. Pot of Prosperity, bottoming out and bouncing back. It's been hanging around 70 after selling a bunch in the 60s. 30 is a really good price to see it at. Diviner of Herald is trying to stick the $30 mark after having tried to stick the $40 mark, and a lot are selling at 30. So maybe they're onto something with the demand for this card and how it is generically played in more decks that I might be thinking by doing their pre-sale price on it. And then Ash Blossoms, they've been falling out. Like, remember when they were all 30 and above, and now they're down to here? That's why I don't necessarily like the Prismatic trying to hang 20 when you have the structure deck coming after. But again, it's their top seller. Maybe I'm just wrong and people are really hyped for this version, as it is kind of the second nicest looking version of it, and all the hollows are kind of trying to stick up there in price. Big 3 deals, speaking of Ash Blossom, has up still the bundles for the Crystal Beast structure deck, including if you have a whole team and you're trying to get them for everybody, code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly will work over here just as it would at Gamer's Choice, making the prices even cheaper. Curry Kara got a buyout here. I heard Cali Effect featured this from my Discord, and I don't know that it's been seeing itself in lists. I do agree that it is a highly underutilized card with big potential, but that's also where Player Brain, I feel like, can mix with Market Brain. Pre-sales for this were like 5 and then 10. This had around 10 to 12 on the market for a while, and now they're up to 20s. Maybe kind of like no material where the potential's there and it may or may not see play. I do think it should see play at some point, and the OCG super juiced certain versions of these in price, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it actually pans out, but I do think it was underlooked up to a degree. Let's see where it goes from here. Drytron Nova is baby bumping up in price as other Drytron pieces get reprinted, and Divine are now reprinted. You see it actually starting to curve up, so be aware, quantities of this are going off the market. It is going up in price, and the cheaper versions are starting to disappear. So if you had any interest in Drytron, you were waiting for Diviner to be cheaper and all these things, don't wait on Drytron Nova, because Genesis Impact is very, very thirsty for any kind of value at this point, and it is one of the biggest pieces of the deck not reprinted. And I did mention Ghost Belle. Her highest rarity version has been spiking, and it's spiking even further at this point. You see 400 is now the lowest, with it quickly heading towards 500. That's what makes the Prismatic Secret Rare very interesting on Ghost Belle for pre-sales. I feel like Starlight Market can be really pumped and messed with though, so kind of be aware of how much money you do set aside into Starlights, and keep checking yourself and your gut and how you are within that market. But let me know what you think about these pre-sales. I am very excited to see. Again, I think the bundles kind of a little overjuiced depending on the one, and then I think some of these singles are really good deals and really good precedents to see early in the market, and I hope they last. Let's refresh during the video, make sure, yeah, everything's still here, so by the time this video is up, hopefully the deals are still there if you are looking at one and you're like, yep, this is it, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Especially the guy who told me that Small World would be 15. How about you buy a whole playset for 15? Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And the 10s, yeah, I get that everything's up there in the secrets. That still doesn't mean everything's going to be super expensive, because when you're still looking at one per case, and about 4 cases cost what one core set product case cost, you're looking at pull rates of 4+ of each secret rare versus the 2.4 of each secret rare in a normal booster box set case, right? So keep that all in mind, that the ratios are still way up there versus the normal product, and these reprints, they are really good for budget players overall.